The Warrior and His Horse. Chronicles of the 5th century. Perhaps in 378 at Adrianople, where the Goths defeated the Romans, or in 451 on the Catalaunian Plains, where the Germanic tribes together with Rome halted the Huns, Aestian warriors also fought? This is a question without a direct answer. Yet in Aestian territory it is not uncommon to uncover the graves of distinguished warriors, furnished with abundant ornaments, finely made weapons, and the equipment of both warrior and horse. One such grave was found in the Vėluikiai cemetery, situated on the steep bank of the Ančia River. These were turbulent times. In the steppes, forests, and mountains, forces were gathering that would change the face of the continent. The Gothic king Germanic created a vast realm stretching from the Black Sea to the Baltic shores. His name left a deep imprint in the memory of distant peoples, and under his rule submitted numerous tribes, the Heruli, the Veneti, the Galindians, and even the Esti, who lived along the long shore of the Oceanus Germanicus, today called the Baltic Sea. Yet this grandeur was short-lived. Around 370, the Huns invaded from the east and shook the Gothic kingdom. The Great Migration began. The Roman Empire was already in decline, while other empires, kingdoms, and principalities were forming. These were the beginnings of today's political map of Europe. The men of Vėluikiai were warriors. Their lives unfolded in the saddle, and one of them was a consummate horseman. He was no ordinary fighter, but about 40 or 45 years old, scarred by many wounds of battle. His nose had been broken by a blow from the left. The upper part of his frontal bone was notched by a fighting knife, axe, or perhaps even a sword. The list of his injuries was completed by the typical wear of a rider's spine, for in the 5th century horsemen of all peoples had never heard of stirrups. Without the support of the feet, the weight of a galloping rider pressed upon the lower vertebrae, which could not withstand it. Our horseman bore the same traces. His worn vertebrae reveal that this warrior had spent years without dismounting. He clearly belonged to the military elite of his time. On each arm he wore a bronze bracelet. One of them was massive, with thickened terminals. Such bracelets appeared in the first half or middle of the 5th century, precisely on the eve of the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains. He also wore 3 spiral rings, 2 on the right hand and 1 on the left. One had a widened central coil. This fine set of personal adornments was crowned by 2 ring-headed fibulae fastening the warrior's cloak. The assemblage of weapons and equipment was impressive. There was an iron spearhead shaped like a willow leaf, a battle axe, and a fighting knife with its most elegant leather baldric. The baldric was decorated with copper rivets and copper plates, overlaid with silver and inlaid with the finest workmanship. No less splendid were the horse's trappings laid beside him. Especially striking was a bronze crescent-shaped pendant adorning the horse's forehead and a pendant of the bridle divider. The bridle itself was deposited in the grave, although the horse was not buried with the rider. In the 5th century, both practices were known, with or without the horse. The Aesti were part of the European world. They forged weapons, mastered the art of war, commanded horses, and had their own martial traditions. The graves of Vėluikiai are one of the examples of the military power of the Aestian world and of their riders' potential to take part in the most distant campaigns. Perhaps their lives and destinies were determined by those same great battles in which the fate of the 5th century and of later Europe was decided.